The Critical Hit podcast contains foul language, sexual subjects, and other things that are inappropriate for children. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello, world, and welcome to a special episode of Critical Hits, a foul mouth podcast that talks about everything. I'm your host, Red King, and with me always is Crimson and Chrono Warden.
Welcome all.
Tonight we're doing a tribute to the late, the great, the legendary Akira Toriyama. I think everyone's doing it at this point, and well deserved. And we're just going to get right into it. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Yes.
We are Critical Hit, and the Akira Toriyama tribute starts right now. All right. I don't think we're really going to do an intro segment. We're just kind of going to fucking get right into it. I got my trusty, dusty... Actually, it's not dusty. I cleaned it.
I actually have one of the dustiest phones I've ever seen. I have things like plaster and stuff on it. It's ridiculous.
You need to get a body glove on that.
That sounded like way too...
like, I might.
I'm wearing my body glove. Don't worry about it.
Okay, but like it's a case that keeps everything off your phone.
Is it sleek?
Yeah, it's a clear case that's basically as thin as this. It just has a screen protector built in.
Damn.
All right.
Because it's also waterproof.
I guess I'm getting a body glove.
It's like a $20 case. They're pretty good.
Yep. All right. So apparently I'm cheap.
Let's we're gonna do a little bit of background into we're gonna do the intro. We're gonna do the biography shit. Dang.
Yeah.
Akira Toriyama was born in Kyosu, Aichi Prefecture. I knew I was gonna choke on this. In Japan in 1955. Always fond of drawing, and he said he was blown away the first time he saw like 101 Dalmatians.
Wow. So wasn't I.
And stuff like Astro Boy.
I knew Astro Boy was coming. You got to respect that one.
Yep.
Boys.
Yep. There's got to be put some respect on that name, and great taste so far.
Yeah, he actually noted like those were some of his bigger inspirations to just like draw. And he started out with like vehicles and animals, which looking at some of his works, he actually draws animals really good. Like,
yeah.
And it almost seems like it's fucking a dog or a lion or a dinosaur.
Yeah, because now that I think back on it, there was a lot of animals and vehicles for that matter.
Yeah. Always like all.
Look at the entire bestiary of Dragon Quest.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Actually, you're right about that.
Or Chrono Trigger.
All looking like, and it sounds, I don't know, it just sounds dumb to say it, but like really able to keep animals looking on model.
Yeah. Yep. 100% agree with that.
Like there's a lot like, I don't know if sometimes I overanalyze it, but like sometimes I think like chibi and like super deformed and like mascot-ish looking animals is just an excuse to not fucking draw animals on model.
Yep. It's an excuse to not draw them well.
Yeah.
And potentially make them more annoying.
His parents actually did not approve of him being like really into art and trying to find like an art career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was obviously like roundabout in the 70s, where he's trying to find work, just kind of doing anything that he can artistically.
And in general, around that time period, it wasn't really like, that wasn't the business move, especially for like males.
You had Disney.
Yeah, that was even in America, it was like Disney or like
Like the MGM
yeah,
stuff.
the MGM
all
Warner
the-
Bros type stuff. And and you look at, especially in Japan was like, hey, like do something big and like world changing and stuff like that. It's like it's a lot of pressure.
So he found work at an advertising company in Nagoya, just like doing random ads and stuff. And apparently Ever the fucking bad boy, because he kind of has that fucking vibe. Never dressed, never adheres to dress code, always dressed way too casual, always late, and got chewed out a lot for it, despite actually being fairly good, and eventually just quit because he got tired of it.
Coolest motherfucker ever.
He's like, drop it. Can't stand it anymore. I'm just fucking leaving.
Like, you can't come in here in sunglasses. I told you that already.
You're just too fucking cool, bro. So trying to find his into the manga industry and kind of also like really needing money. He entered into like like contests to show up in like some of these weekly serialized magazines. One of them obviously being shown in I think it was I actually had it written down, but I don't know where. But it eventually became Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
The parent company of Shonen Jump is like, oh my gosh, I have to fucking figure that one out. Do some Google foo after I'm going over my notes. The man who would one day be his editor, one Kazuhiko Toriyama, was impressed by his works and some of his submissions. One that kind of like put Toriyama on the radar was, and obviously Toriyama works for Shonen Jump, by the way.
Big surprise.
Big fucking surprise. And it was invalid to actually win the contest, as it was a parody. It was a Star Wars parody. But he was like, this is great. You're obviously really fucking talented. Keep after it. Keep submitting works. To this magazine. And he has had a number of like really just random one shots that appeared in the Weekly Shonen, and mid success, nothing really huge.
Yeah.
Until 1980, when he released Dr. Slump, which is about a superpowered robot girl, and it's just like it's kind of like a science fiction adjacent just comedy romp.
Yeah.
With like a weekly battle against an evil scientist.
Which was the shit. For
massively successful, and ran for 4 years in Shonen Jump, and actually had a TV series that ran for decades just in constant rerun.
That's pretty impressive. Like, because that's the thing. If you think about Shonen Jump and what eventually became Shonen Jump, and even nowadays, it's very cutthroat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you see like a series actually get serialized and then like cut like months later. It's like, so 4 years for your first like success is like really good.
Yep. He actually, like 6 months after creating Dr. Slump, he wanted to just be done with it. And they were like, no, not happening. You're going to keep going.
Like you're doing numbers for us.
Now in 83, he's like, listen, I'm done. We should stop with Dr. Slump.
Mhm.
Let's just fucking end it. And they told him, in order to end Dr. Slump, you got to come up with something new.
Mhm.
Now you, Akira Toriyama, has to come up with something new. Fucking. That's when he came up with Dragon Ball, which is a stylized retelling of Journey to the West. And it just kind of this is where it blows up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Obviously, there is no series on this planet, like even Pokemon, which is right huge, kind of huge, like Dragon Ball Z, very culturally, like it influences the entirety of our culture.
Mhm.
There's always some reference to it, and at least everybody knows it.
Mm.
Like there are, I remember, I think it was like New York Times. It said that. Now this was a number of years ago. I have no reason to fucking believe that it was any different now. But said that Pikachu is more recognizable than Mickey Mouse.
Which is funny because he's also a mouse.
It's like the fucking great mouse off. That was what a dud, right? Fuck.
The great mouse.
What a fucking dud. My word.
Like, what do? They skitter and eat fucking cheese. I don't know.
Except one can blast you with
plague.
fucking yeah. One spreading the plague, the other one's blasting with lightning.
Yeah.
That's right. Mickey, I said you're sick.
But I think because there are very few series that had like that kind of cultural impact, like all around the world. Because we have a lot of things, and like we've noted Disney, and Disney's even a big inspiration for a lot of mangaka and creators and artists. But Disney doesn't have the same type of impact around the world that something like Dragon Ball or Pokemon even has had. Just a constant grip. There's never a time where it's not hype that like around the world that Dragon Ball is doing something. Like I remember when Super was first announced, and it was just like everybody was like, "Whoa!"
Like I'm trying to think of like when Resurrection of F, because that was the re-intro to Dragon Ball, past GT.
Yeah.
which I mean, can't fucking win all the time, but I remember
Battle of the Gods came first.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Remember that? Yeah, because that's when and it was a whole new, because they did everything in that movie. There was a new transformation. There was bigger threat. It was like, wow. They like, all right.
2013.
Yeah.
That was the restart of Dragon Ball Z or Super. As far as the series goes, like I started watching with Z.
Yeah.
And I'm like the old head who fucking like watched the Ocean dub and like shit that was on fuck. It might have been ABC at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the afternoon, and they were trying to like really fucking like castrate all the violence in it.
Yeah. And it was a lot of different runs before you got to see like, and even when they pitched it as like uncensored, it still wasn't fully uncensored. Because it's like you didn't when we were young and we were watching that show, we didn't realize that it was like obviously it was violent, right? It was like they were fighting with superpowers, but you didn't realize that it's like motherfuckers got holes blown in them, bro, like bleeding, bro.
Because I'm trying to think, I think when it first had its run, and it was just some also ran, and like none of the voices were right at all. I think
Everybody sounded like this.
like really, I think They might have had the same guy do. I don't even think they had Raditz. I don't even think they had the fight with Raditz in the original, like when they first brought it over. I think they just cut that one because there's no getting around that fucking one.
Yeah, that's a little
Raditz kidnaps a child, beats the shit out of Krillin first go.
Yeah,
kills a farmer.
Oh, he does.
That's like his first deal.
Because he caught the bullet and shot it back at him.
Yeah, he caught the bullet fucking off that dude. Flew over, kicked the shit out of Krillin, kidnapped the child. Then when Goku and Piccolo showed up, he proceeded to kick the shit out of them until Piccolo was like, I'm gonna try something. And then it ended with both of them getting impaled by an energy spike.
Yeah. Which that is a hard one to censor.
Most of it is like, by the time you're done cutting it, there's nothing fucking usable left.
Yeah.
And then Gohan freaks the fuck out, breaks out of the pod and attacks Raditz, and Raditz kicks the shit out of him. So everyone was catching fades from Raditz.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the first time I saw Dragon Ball Z, it was not. They had to skip over the Raditz arc.
So it would have been what? Frieza?
No, it was the Saiyan saga. It was the Saiyan arc.
Which they still somehow like, and it's not like that was any less violent. You know what I mean? Because when Vegeta and Nappa first arrived, they're just wiping people out.
The first thing
thing
they did was start blowing up cities.
But it's like somehow they were just dodging.
They were dirty with it.
Yeah, and they were dodging with weird wording. It's
like good thing everybody got out of there. Like,
yeah.
They were doing like the live, because there was a scene where all of the Z fighters are watching a live broadcast of the Saiyans arriving in this city. And just fucking wasting everybody. Indiscriminate destruction. Everyone's dying. They're like ripping through fucking planes and like blasting buildings. And then like they're showing all this destruction. And then off screen, there's like some fucking fake ass canned news reporter who's like, good thing everybody got out of there. So like, it was really hard to sell it. Eventually, they got to the point where, you know, like the Cybermen was easy because it was fucking aliens and you color all the blood purple.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think Vegeta's first run, his blood was purple. Or they just colored over it. I think they might have just been coloring over it.
Yeah. And you remember, like, it was like sending people to the next dimension.
Yep.
Like,
so, like, they were trying to sell to their viewers that every one of those blasts were just an attempt to teleport somebody. It was baleful teleport.
and when you're
baleful plane shift,
and when you're a kid, you're like, okay, cool. I guess they're just teleporting people. And then, like, you get to that point where you're like, I think they might be killing him.
Yeah, because a big smoky explosion.
Like, I'm pretty sure he's just dead.
Like, don't worry.
Just a crater there.
It was a really hard teleport. He's gonna have a headache.
And
an everything ache.
Yes. And a dead.
But for that, like, and for that series to happen, and to happen the way that it did,
it is insane.
Yeah. It's like, but it's still like, how, then you look back and you're like, how did that capture us, right? But it did, and it took hold of everybody who watched it. You know what I mean? There wasn't a single person that you could show Dragon Ball Z that wouldn't get hooked on Dragon Ball Z. I'm throwing that down right now because as a kid, if you weren't trying to throw a Kamehameha, I don't want to fucking talk to you.
If you can't sit there and stand in a spot in a low squat stance and fucking scream until you black the fuck out,
yeah,
you ain't my friend.
Yeah, don't talk to me.
That was me as a child. Like I was like, ha!
And it just switched to stubbing your toe and blacking out as an adult.
Yeah.
Word, that was
it's a little different as an adult.
It's kind of embarrassing because like I could have died. I was by myself.
And I don't think it's as socially acceptable to to stand in one spot and scream. That's all.
Okay, here's a hot
Just
take.
put on a trench coat and you're good. No one's going to question it. They're just going to avoid
They're
you.
gonna keep walking.
This is a hot take. If you're allowed to just have a fucking just one good tantrum a month, you fucking might be better off.
you get one.
Just fall out and just scream.
Like, make it count. Don't don't make it weak.
Like, really go. Don't break shit. Because then somebody's allowed to beat the shit out of you.
You're going to fall out of your car on the ground and just scream.
Like, oh, fuck, I'm sick of this. Do that thing where they kick and punch the ground.
Yeah. Like, just rapidly.
Yeah.
However, if you did that now and you did
break your fucking limbs.
Yeah, you would definitely hurt something. Splintering bones.
So, like, one of the things that grabbed me for Dragon Ball Z was, like, up until then, I was watching cartoons that were done in a very cartoony style.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, because, like, the first anime I think I ever watched was, like, fucking Gatchaman. And I didn't even realize what the fuck they were doing to me. Fucking, there's some people who just, like, put it out there in the fucking ether and just, like, we're going to turn all these innocent, well-meaning little chillin' into fucking weebs.
Yeah, somebody made a very...
Could you imagine the elder weebs who had not even seen that until, like, being an adult?
Yeah, yep.
And then being in a position where they could fucking do some media shit and start putting it out there?
Just very...
That is fucking insane.
They were like, yo, boop. What the fuck is this?
What the fucking fuck? They look so cool.
Like, and that's really what it, because like they were badass, bro.
Because you think about like the cartoons that we had, right? Because even so, like the hardest one, the one that went the hardest, was like the Hanna-Barbera era Johnny Quest, right?
Yeah.
And it was drawn in a comic book realistic style.
Yeah.
And there were themes of violence and shit like that. Beyond that, anything that had a more like all the Hanna-Barbera teens and a mascot solve a crime shit, they all looked like humans.
Yeah. Yep.
Beyond that, it was all just goofy ass looking cartoons. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love cartoons. I'm not gonna be like I'm on my weeb shit today. But
no, I'm with you.
But like it was like in a very fucking cartoon way. And then all of a sudden,
out of fucking nowhere, bro.
fucking
Tom and Jerry.
like Tom and Jerry, the next generation. Like, whoa, they're so fucking boss.
Like, wow. And that was the marketing department, was like fucking Tom and Jerry, the next generation. Oh. Well, they do have tails.
Oh, there's okay. Could you imagine if that was the fucking go? If somebody said, "Listen, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's cool as fuck. Let's just take an existing IP and just call it that." You out of your fucking mind?
Like, see what happens.
They got tails, bro. Are you kidding me?
But no, dude, it was really crazy that it was just like, it's such a tonal difference, bro.
Yeah.
And it made, like, it was so cool. It made me start drawing shit. Like, I never used to draw until I saw Dragon Ball Z. Then I was like, I'm going to fucking draw these guys.
Yep. Every fucking day. I'm gonna draw a picture of a motherfucking Vegeta.
Yeah. Yep. And it was Vegeta or Goku, because like Piccolo got a little complicated sometimes.
Yeah, his design was hard.
Yeah, it was hard to draw his cape. Because like and the thing was, you couldn't draw the motherfucker without the cape. I know he would throw it off, but like
that was what made him.
Yeah.
And you had to draw the antenna.
Yeah, because like that's a whole new difficulty, because I didn't have the ability to like. It was wide lines or nothing.
Yeah. It always looks like he had dicks protruding off his head, off of the exact sides of his head.
Yeah. Because we didn't know.
This don't look right.
We didn't understand perspective.
So like,
Feet turn sideways. My motherfucker stands like me, bro.
So I
Why do my knees hurt?
like when I'm playing like Dungeons and Dragons and shit, like I always be trying to put on voices and shit.
Mhm.
Like like that was me as a child. Like that got me into whatever. Like everyone pretends to be shit when they're kids.
Fuck yeah.
But that's what got me into like trying to do voices.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's the thing is like, man, our play pretend was next level shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like we have voices, we have powers, bro. Like, come on, dog. Like we ain't even telling you, yo, I'm pretending to do this. Nah, motherfucker. Like this story is playing out, dog.
Yep. You better catch this motherfucking Kamehameha, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah, like that was my shit. And like it was 100% because of Dragon Ball Z. There's
Yep.
no two fucking ways about it. Like there was nothing that got me so hype. Cause I remember when like you start getting into the Toonami era, and this is like we had talked about this in the past already. But like you started getting into the Toonami era, and there was nothing better. Doesn't matter what you were doing beforehand. There was nothing better than coming back into your house, sitting in front of that fucking TV. You got the cool ass Toonami lo-fi music because like Toonami did it first. Let's be real. Cool ass Toonami lo-fi music. Tom with the cool ass voice, and then fucking Dragon Ball Z, and even the promos were hype. And it's like, and then that shit starts, Dragon Ball Z. And like, as soon as they changed the lineup a couple times, right? But then as soon as they realized Dragon Ball Z was the shit, it was just like, they just led with that shit.
Yep.
Which is like, yo, as soon as it starts with Dragon Ball Z, the rest is like fucking icing on the cake. Like, that was my shit, bro. Like, and I think that was like, and you got people who you would never think to be into that shit. My parents watched that, or our parents rather, me and Red King's parents watched that shit with us.
Yep.
You know what
Fucking
I mean?
the Mexican cartels
Yeah.
are fucking into Dragon Ball.
Because that was another thing. I don't know if you read that story, but there was a ceasefire of like 5 different cartels
No, I didn't.
to honor Akira Toriyama. A ceasefire, bro. They were like, fuck that, bro. Like,
We're not popping anybody today.
Yeah, like
When the news broke, people fucking the whole world. And like obviously, you know, talking about his life and talking about his works, we got to talk about his death. It was a secret, right?
Yeah.
The news broke like it was March 1st, right? No, it was
No, he died March 1st.
he died March 1st.
They broke it March 8th.
Yes.
yeah.
So and I fucking understand it. Like I get it. Because the whole country of Japan and the whole world
Mhm.
at large would start trying to cop tickets and fly to a friggin' funeral.
Yeah.
His family would not have a moment's fucking peace or a
Mhm.
moment's fucking rest. That's how much of an absolute legend this man is.
Yeah. And like the when you talk about impact, right? And you think about it and you're like, these people didn't know nothing about him really, aside from what he created.
Mhm.
But like what he created made such a difference in people's lives.
Mhm.
You know, and like brought people together. Like I know people straight from the hood who like talk about Dragon Ball Z, and they were chilling with family watching Dragon Ball Z, and you know what I mean? And like that was the memories growing up. You know what I mean? Like you look at like some pretty prominent, like dangerous people right now, and they're into Dragon Ball Z, bro. You
Yep.
know, and it's like it's such a, you can't understate how much that series and that person impacted
Mhm.
the world. And like you said, I don't fault them for keeping that a secret, because I do believe that. I believe that, like, you know, a lot of people would have been trying to like, and it would be with the best intentions, right?
Yep.
But like, it would be a mob.
Yep. It'd be a complete It'd be madness. It'd be absolute madness.
Yeah. And it's something, it is something truly special. And it is a person who is truly special to be able to do that, you know, to be able to have that effect. And like, because you've seen other things and other people, and, you know, even some of our like actors and artists and things like that. And like, they do like good things, right? You know, like they donate to this charity, or like they do things, and it's like, okay, yeah, obviously that like, that's a good thing you did, but it's like there's just something that's just disingenuous. Like, and I'm not trying to be that guy. Like, if you're a great person and you like, kudos to anybody who is truly great people, right? But like, this person, there was just nothing. You never heard anything bad about him.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Nose clean.
Yeah, yeah. He was, you know, just like.
Because, like, even with the fucking creator Rurouni Kenshin,
Yeah,
it was like caught with like so much fucking like child porn that like he had such a quantity that they thought he was distributing.
Yeah, and he like was just like, oh, that's just what I'm into. Like, what?
Like unapologetically just a nonce and fucked up.
Yeah, and so it's like, because there are, and I guess that's one thing worth noting, that, you know, after Dragon Ball Z and the impact that Dragon Ball Z had, naturally it opened up a lot of people for a lot more anime. You know what I mean? And Rurouni Kenshin was one of those. You know,
huge show.
Yeah,
I actually, you know, if you can suspend disbelief, I guess, or whatever, and just kind of separate the fucking art from the artist, I don't fucking know. It still is a cool show, and it holds up.
Yeah. But then, you know, and you get into it, and it's like, man, this is cool. There could be nothing but cool behind this. And then you find out about the artist, and it's like, you know, like, why? like, you know, and there's so many cases, and like, you know, even sometimes where it's just like the art that they're portraying just has things in it that it's like, I don't know if I could really like, you're cool and all, but like, that's a little weird.
Berserk
is one. Yeah, Berserk is one of those. And the thing is, also, I forget the author's name. Sorry, also passed away. So, you know, obviously, rest in peace, all that. But like, there are themes in Berserk that I'm just like, why does that have to be?
Well, Berserk is very dark. That's always been its thing.
Well, now this is the thing. I have the same problem with Game of Thrones. You can be dark and not be, I'm going to just say, problematic.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
That was a good way to put that.
Yeah, you know, it gets a little bad sometimes, right? And the thing about, you know, because, you know, to go back to Dragon Ball also had dark aspects to it. Now, granted, it was
nothing like
a lot of planetary genocide.
Yeah. Like, and that's the
those
thing.
motherfuckers white fucking planets like nothing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, yeah, granted, how they frame it is a little different, right? If the Berserk author wrote that, they would focus a lot more on the death and destruction that happened after the fact and all that to make it shocking. But like, if you really think about it, they were laying waste to entire planets full of people, you know? So it's like, they still had dark elements, but I think how you frame it, and I think this is kind of a thing for Akira Toriyama, is that like, and what I look for in stories is hope, bro. I don't like bleak. Like, bleak happens all the time. You know what I mean? I don't sit here and like, that was the appeal of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, is that it was the good guys always prevailed in the end. You know, bad guys did bad things and they got their comeuppance, and it made you sit there and it was like, bro, like, I got hope, bro. You know what I mean? And it was such a, because, you know, childhood is troubling sometimes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know? And when you kind of have a crappy childhood and then you sit there and you watch this and you got these like heroes, you know what I mean? It's like, holy crap, dude. Like, and I think that's the thing. And that's why, like, I don't think, and this is no disrespect to the author of Berserk, but it's not going to be the same as Akira Toriyama passing, because like, hope is always going to be a lot better than bitterness and depression and darkness.
So one of the things that was interesting about Dragon Ball Z, as far as because like the original series Dragon Ball, it was a lot. Goku was a little bit more cut and dry.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
he's a very good dude. And he was very innocent. He was incredibly young. He was a child.
We're here to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goku in Dragon Ball Z was fucking he was off the damn chain, boy.
He got a little crazy.
Here's a Senzu beating Frieza.
Like, let's go again.
Meanwhile, Krillin's just bleeding out. Like, bro, what the fuck?
I don't think it's a very good idea, Goku.
So like, can we shit, I'm gonna go on so many tangents on this one. So in the Saiyan saga, we got to watch like a lot of people fucking die.
Mhm.
Like Tien, Chaozu, Piccolo, which was kind of huge. And that'll stick with me. Him doing his fucking sacrificing himself to catch that blast from Nappa
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
and
Oh,
protect Gohan. That was fucking
that
huge,
dude, Piccolo, man, the goat, bro. Like,
Fucking Yamcha died like a dog. Fucking Cyberman grabbed him up. Boom! That was it.
That poor man.
He became a meme ever since then.
Yeah.
It's crazy because memes didn't even exist back then.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, "Hey, remember that shit? I'll find a picture of that shit."
Remember the motherfucker was in the crater?
Right. And
Fucking balled up.
remember, unlike Krillin, he doesn't have anybody.
Oh gosh. Krillin was good for him.
Krillin can just be like, I don't want to fight this. Who turns up? 18.
Yeah.
Who kicks the shit out of everything?
18.
And right,
Plus, I mean, come on, bro.
Krillin's like, come on, dear, I'm gonna go make cookies while your mom kicks ass.
So get like little low key thing. Aside from like Sailor Moon, Android 18 was my original anime crush. I was just like, yep, like awesome.
she was a fucking baddie. But back to my original point. Fucking Piccolo bit the dust during the fight with Nappa and Vegeta. We saw everyone else catch fades in that arc too,
Yeah,
right? The only ones who survived that fight were Krillin, Goku, obviously, Gohan, Yajirobe, who was there.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
He scored that fucking critical by sneak attacking Vegeta when he was in his ape form. Stopped him from rampaging because he cut his fucking tail off.
Yo, so here's the thing. Can I? And when they be saying shit, and like this is my argument because I've talked a little bit of shit about Dragon Ball in the past, right? But like when people be talking shit about like, oh, there was no good moments and it was always just ... like shut the fuck up. Because like if you think about it, it was a Destructo Disc against Frieza, which was Krillin's thing.
It was the Destructo Disc against Nappa.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. Nappa was fucking. He had gotten so many people down with just his minions.
Yeah.
He was like
He was fucking flexing. And then I think the Destructo Disc came after taking out Piccolo.
Yeah.
Which was, is their toughest guy. So he was fucking flexing. He was going hard. He's like, what now, bitch? What?
Yeah.
And then Krillin launched that thing,
damage too.
and he was about to just go catch it.
Yeah.
And Vegeta freaked out. He's like, Nappa, don't fucking touch that thing. Fucking jumped. He did like a stationary, picked his legs up and shit, and cut a fucking mountain down. He was like, you were going to try that on me. Okay.
Yeah, yo.
And Krillin stayed doing that for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he was
Let
just,
people sleep on that the Destructo disc.
and
Just
everybody did, bro. Everybody, because like
Frieza caught a fade. He lost his tail on that shit.
Yeah. Freaking, Yajirobe fucking scoring a takedown on Great Ape Vegeta.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. You want to sit there and sit here and there ain't no good moments? Come on, man. Shut up.
He jumped off a fucking mountain.
Yeah.
And he fucking cut that shit with the sword. And then Vegeta, his transformation faded and walked over and beat the shit out of Yajirobe.
He did. He was like, fuck.
Fucked him up. That sword took his ape form, almost took his life.
Yeah.
Because you remember when Goku put him down and he was like crawling back to his space body. He's like, I'm getting out of here. Krillin walked up. He's like, oh, really?
Yo, Krillin was a G.
He's about to
man.
stick that boy in the chest.
Fuck that. Krillin was a G. I don't even want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear nothing else, bro.
I lost my point. I'm gonna get back onto my point. We saw the death. We saw most of the squad get wiped.
Yeah, everybody called fade.
We watched countless Namekians who got names and faces
Yep.
catch hands and just die in droves. The one fucking thing that caught me so bad, first of all, was Vegeta. He died during the Frieza saga.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
He was the first one to go down out of the main group.
I think this might actually be the first time in an anime I like started crying. Like, because I was like just getting into like the rowdy, like young teenage stage. And I'm like, this guy's tough.
Because like Vegeta cried. He was like,
Bruh.
he said, Goku, you got to stop this guy. He killed everybody. He killed the whole planet. There are no Saiyans left anywhere because of him. And he's like, you got to do this. You got to stop him. He's going to destroy everything. And he fucking cried. And then he fucking died.
Mm-hmm.
And Goku buried him.
Man, yeah, that was fucking damn.
I was like, oh my gosh. Like as a kid, I was just like, I lost it.
Yeah.
It was exposing me to like shit that was real.
Yeah.
It's like I watched movies. It's not like I was fucking without movies.
Yeah.
And I saw people die in movies. It was very sad.
But like this dude was like, because he was always like half villain and like a badass. Like there was never a time, even when he was catching fades, he was still talking shit.
Yep.
So it's like I wasn't ready for that. Like you can't do that.
And then the Namek saga also got Krillin. He got into death saves one time when when Frieza did his first transformation. He had like the big old buffalo horns.
Yeah.
Fucking stuck him in the chest.
I remember that.
Which
Dude, Frieza
there was
after him.
Yo,
bro.
there was so much like fantastical explosive deaths in that series that Krillin getting stabbed in the chest fucked me up for years.
That was
But they healed him. They brought him back, right? Because Dende had his healing powers.
because he was out, bro.
Yep. Fucking does Frieza next fucking time not fucking kill Krillin. Just put him up in the air and just fucking blew him up.
Yep.
What a shitty way to die, bro. Like
He said, help me, Pong!
Like imagine that, bro.
Fucked him up.
Like what does that feel like beforehand? Like that, oh gosh.
Because if you watch it frame by frame, his body does that fucking Fist of the North Star thing.
yeah.
It's fucking, he deforms for like a split second.
Oh,
Boom,
gosh.
gone.
Dude. Yeah. Damn, Frieza. But like they made villains, bro. And like I do like, and I get it. I get the argument for having like a lot of depth for villains, right? But like I kind of miss when villains were just villains. You know what I mean? Because like Frieza was just evil. And you're like, fucking get this guy. Like, I get, like, there's a time and place for, like, morality questions and all that, but, like, damn, man, like, you saw all this shit happen, and then, like, Goku would whip the shit out of him, and it's like, and he was powerful as fuck, right? He was unbeatable by every one of them, unbeatable. And then it's like, by the end of this fucking saga, he done, and like, there was Super Saiyan transformation. Come on, bro. Like, there was so many iconic moments.
Frieza did when he did his final form, like, super, where he got all fucking huge.
Yeah.
That was an incredible, like, they say, right, because it took 5 episodes for him to charge a spirit bomb prior to going Super Saiyan.
And miss.
He hit him. He did nail him. Just wasn't enough to fucking...
Which, damn, bro. Like, they knew how to put their villains over. Like, that's
because he did take the hit, and there was that huge crater. His boy popped out of the fucking crater. It was just like, and he was pretty busted up. Like, he didn't come out of it unscathed. But then he did the fucking. He got stupid because if you catch the surprise round, and you have Goku was tired. He didn't have anything left in him.
Yeah, he could have killed him.
Yeah.
Like,
if you prioritize your targets, if you weren't trying to be fucking mean.
yeah, because that's really what it was, too. He was like, you give me with that shit, fuck you.
I'm gonna kill your friend. You didn't expect it to happen, which, fair.
Worst mistake of his life, bro.
Last mistake of his life.
Yeah.
For that life.
Actually,
so yeah, he came back a couple times. Because remember when he came back as Mecha Frieza? But like, the fucked up thing was
he looked like a pots and pans robot.
Yeah, and he came back just to get chopped the fuck up, bro. like, and then, like, you want to talk about cool moments in a fucking anime?
Yep.
Motherfuckers are running hands the whole series, right?
Yeah.
And then Trunks appears. Not only does he got drip, like, he's got a fucking sword, bro, and he slashed him, and it was like, dog. And then he did the thing, he slashed the crap out of it, and then put the hand under the one arm, and boom, blew. Like, I was like, bruh, like, he's the coolest fucking guy. And like, when I tell you, my wannabe edginess went crazy, bro.
Because of future Trunks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan hair was different.
Yeah, bro. Like, dude,
it wasn't just sticky up. It like had that fucking part in the middle, which, you know, thinking about it now, it's like center parted hair going up. I'm like, miss me with that. But back then, I was like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah. It's like, dude, this is the coolest motherfucker ever. And he went Super Saiyan, no problem. It's like, this guy's badass, bro. I'm like, I thought it was gonna be like a weird passing of the torch thing, but like
switch main characters, that would have been weird.
Yeah, it would have been really, really strange, but it was cool as shit, bro, and it was undeniably the coolest shit ever. Now he stopped using a sword pretty quickly, because that in a world of like super powered, like, aliens, I don't really think a sword has much of a place.
I mean, if you shoot it at the end of a Kamehameha.
But, guys, I have an idea.
Throw the sword right away. They get a beam struggle and the sword just...
Yo. Just scramble.
Yeah, you're doing the beam struggle. You're going, ah, and like you're paying a lot of attention because, right, this is a beam struggle. In no fucking time does it not mean life or death.
Yeah.
You're going in as hard as you can.
Yeah.
And you see it, it's flying edgewise. And you see it kind of just moving through the beam. Nails you right in the chest. What the fucking fuck? You lose a beam struggle, you get blasted.
Yeah.
Then the Destructo disc comes in.
Yeah. It's like, do you just get a twofer? Yo. No, there was no universe where Trunks didn't become everybody's new favorite character.
He really was.
You know? It was like you can't like, and that's the thing. It was always like cooler and cooler and cooler, and like when everybody's taste in anime changed and everybody got older and blah blah blah. You
gotta like want different things out of your media.
Yeah, which is fine, right? Because if you really think about it, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z was a show or is a shonen anime. It's not meant necessarily for like adults. Anime a lot of the time
Not meant for the highbrow.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like eventually you move on and you find things that are like more as per your taste, right? But undeniably, it's part our generation's childhood is Dragon Ball Z. Like in large parts, Dragon Ball Z. There might have been other stuff, like there even like it wasn't my first foray into anime. I've seen other animes before Dragon Ball Z, but nothing hit like Dragon Ball Z did. Like it was just the coolest shit ever, dude, and undeniable like the impact that it had. Like damn, man, like even just I think about all the cool ass moments. I'm like damn,
And right, like we obviously covering Dragon Ball Z could be like 5 episodes for me. I could just do this all night. I don't.
yeah.
But the other thing that was wild about it, because right, I got into drawing. I understood that, you know, shows started to look like I started to pay attention to how things looked, and like the thing that fucking blew me away was seeing that art style other fucking places.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't, in my little tiny child mind, wrap my head around the fact that a motherfucker drew it. And like he drew it the way that he knows how to draw things, right?
Yeah.
I think the second place I saw that art style was it was a Square Enix fighting game called Tobal Number One.
Gosh, dude.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about Tobal Number One, man. Like, fighting games are kind of my shit. You know what I mean? And you look at Tobal Number One, and it's like, you get like some of the fusion character vibes. You get like Trunks vibes. You get like, and like, it was that art style, man. And I agree. It blew my freaking mind, dude. And like the way that this game played, and the way that this game looked, you know what I mean, had no business being that cool.
I had not really consumed any Final Fantasy media prior to that. But it was Square Enix doing an RPG style fighting game.
Yeah.
So it was a mix of Final Fantasy, Tekken, and Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Which was insane to me.
Yeah.
They had you could go and attack the dungeon, and like it was in RPG mode, and it wasn't fucking clicking to me because I had never played an RPG. I think I played one. It was like a really random one called Beyond the Beyond.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
And besides that was it. Like it wasn't clicking to me that it was what it was. But it was fucking wild.
Yeah. And it's like you seen things that were like, you know, it's like the boots. It was always boots for me. The way the pants looked, because it was always like, you know what I mean? Like, because it always kind of, I always call them genie pants because they'd be looking like pants that genies be wearing. So I'm like, if they got genie pants and boots, usually with like a black tip to them, I'm like, motherfucker drew this shit, bro. And it blew my mind because I was like, this has got to be, and because as a kid, you're just like, hey, this is also Dragon Ball Z. It's got to be, right? It looks like it. So I'm like, of course it is. I'm like, they're fucking throwing hands. They look like Dragon Ball Z. It's got to be.
One of these characters coming to the anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm waiting for them to do cameos and shit. Like, and like, I didn't, you know, because getting into like sequels and shit like that later, I found out that Tobal actually had a sequel. and it was on the PlayStation 1, and I I emulated it way back when. And I played that game, and the thing that was crazy about it was this game looked incredible. Like, for a PlayStation 1 game, Tobo 2 looked like a damn PlayStation 2 game. And it looked like amazing, bro. So I ended up, I put a lot of hours into that in emulation because I'm like, I could, because it was Japanese only. So I had to get like
Fanlation.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a rough one.
It's always rough, but it was worth it for me because I'm like, like again, when you talk about like a big part of my show,
I devoured your soup.
What? But like, what did he say?
What did he say?
I mean, that technically is correct, but did you mean soul?
But like, must have been pretty fucking good soup.
Like, the grammar was right, but I don't think that means what you think it means.
It's like, don't get a fucking Chinese tattoo when Barry is your tattoo artist.
Yeah, Barry.
Yeah, this means courage. It's just the fucking ramen logo.
Yeah. Like everyone's looking at you like,
Why do you have ramen on your body? It's courage, man. Yeah, I guess you do have to be courageous to display that.
But you must really like noodles.
My ramen gives me super strength.
And it's not bone dry.
But and then you see, because we were just talking about in our top 10 video games last week, you know, Dragon Quest.
Yep.
You know, iconic art style, and it has been that art style because you be seeing like some series that like will change their art style throughout.
Not Dragon Quest.
No, Dragon Quest has
gosh.
been the Akira Toriyama style, just an iconic, bro. You know what I mean? Every last one of those Dragon Quest heroes, you could see them like, and I got introduced to them usually through like external medias.
Okay, so speaking of Trunks, right? 11 and Trunks are very similar looking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What I liked
With the swords.
yeah, very much so. And what I liked, I remember in Dragon Quest 8 when I never got to actually play Dragon Quest 8, but a motherfucker went Super Saiyan
When
in
you
that
psyched
shit.
up to 100.
Yeah. And I was like, when I saw that shit, I'm like,
Oh, man. The fucking later bosses in that game, because you can't really use that mechanic anymore because they'll just ice it.
damn.
So there ends up being like entire strategies you have to build where you build the character's tension in turn and then they attack before they get iced.
Oh my gosh, dude. Like that's crazy. You know? And then you see like how this was brought to life. And like, because we were talking about the visuals of the
Oh,
new
Angelo from 8 also looks like Trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got some, and that's actually why I really liked that character.
Angelo's a great fucking character.
I was just
A little bit of a playboy.
See, perfect. But now, like, you know, you've never seen something because the anime style has weirdly been like the quote unquote anime style. I'll say that though. In air quotations, because there's a lot of different styles.
Those totally visible air quotations.
These are audio only air quotes.
Yeah, these are audio only air quotes. Yeah.
The slappy sound of our fingers.
It's stopped by the pop filter.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this thing works really good. But it's been a weirdly difficult thing to like see translated well into like 3D video games. But like you see Dragon Quest and it always looks good.
Yeah.
Like it never does. So the thing is, because I've played a lot of like, recently I played Tales of Arise.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks good in still images.
Well,
But
another series that has pretty good anime translation is Fire Emblem.
yeah, Fire Emblem does a fantastic job. Like, but I think that like also that
I think
has
it does now.
Yeah, because that's been in recent time.
Because
It wasn't until
the Dawn Saga games for GameCube
Yeah.
looked pretty boo boo actually.
Eh.
Yeah, because like, and the cut scenes were amazing. You know what I mean? They looked awesome. But then like you got in game and it was this like weird muddy 3D look, and it was just like, oh wow. but you look like shit, and it's always stiff and like weird looking. But it's like the Dragon Quest games have like this crazy amount of production value behind it.
Yeah.
That like, even though it's like this anime style that might not necessarily I can't speak English might not necessarily be realistic or anything like that. The visuals are just incredible. Like it's just great to look at, and it's great to look at in motion too, which is a very important thing. Because a lot of times, like anime cell shaded, okay, cool. Then you play it, and it's like, why are you moving like an actual robot?
Yeah, why are you a noodle bot?
Yeah.
Not only that, like the special attacks are always fucking good.
Yeah.
And the visuals for special attacks in Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Because like the hero in 8, if you end up advancing swords and courage all the way to 100, you get Giga Gash.
That is awesome.
Which may not be the best move in the game, but when your boy is blind, Giga Gash is there. It doesn't care.
Yep. It doesn't care.
But I think, and it kind of plays hand in hand, right? Like you see, an artist who's passionate about what they do, and you get with, game developers who are passionate about what they do, and sound designers and composers that are, that can match that passion. And then something that is like timeless gets created every time. You know what I mean? And like it's consistent. You know what I mean? You don't get many people who are like, "Hey, I played Dragon Quest, newest Dragon Quest entry, and kind of mid."
You want to know what's crazy? I'm just thinking about this just now. Right? We had games like Tobal come out, and then Chrono Trigger.
Was Tobal before or after Trigger?
It was
after, I believe. If I remember correctly.
Because, so I was scrolling through my Facebook, right? And one of the pictures that came across was Akira Toriyama, Hironobu Sakaguchi, and Uematsu sitting in front or around a fucking tube TV with a VCR, and Chrono Trigger was on the fucking screen.
Oh my god.
That is an insane. That's insane.
Wow, dude. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing. You'll never have, that's a little facetious, but like, I'm kind of in my feels right now. So there's not a great many people that like you'll see in a picture like that all in the same room. And it's just genius and passion. It's like, wow, dude.
Trying to look up, let me see. Chrono Trigger. One of these days I'm going to be able to fucking handle myself like a professional and actually get these fucking tabs up and ready. Okay, so what we got is 96 for Tobal and 95 for Chrono Trigger. So I chronologically fucked that one up. So it's Chrono Trigger, then Tobal. You have the Dragon Quest games always with an amazing Akira Toriyama art style. There is
since 1985.
Yes, my dude.
Yep.
Ooh. So it was. So Dr. Slump ended in 84.
83, 84, yeah.
Dragon Ball started in 83. Fucking Dragon Quest in 85. This motherfucker was cooking.
Wow, dude. Yeah, no, wow. And that means like early on, motherfuckers are like, "Yo,
don't miss."
Like, you see that though? Like, I'm gonna need you to draw it for me.
You want to know? It was a video game that did not take well to the art style for some reason. The very first Dragon Ball Z fighting game. Well, I'm lying. There were other ones that were better.
We don't mention those older ones.
But the one for the PlayStation 2 was Dragon Ball Z Budokai. And the art, for some reason, it didn't take. It didn't take. It looked weird.
So I don't think that
I loved it.
Yeah, I played the shit out of that game.
Budokai 3 was a really good game.
Yeah. Budokai 3 was my favorite, easily.
Fun fact: it was almost the last game I ever played in my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was 11 years old, right? Playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
It was the first day we got the fucking thing.
Yeah, it was like, the first day.
It was the
and
very
I ended
first-
up like coming down like I thought it was a fucking cold, and then it turned to a fever. I got really sick for like fucking almost. It was like a month and 2 weeks. I was actually in a medically induced coma.
Yeah.
This is a true story. It was almost the last game I ever played.
What
Yep.
did you have?
It was like SJS. It was like
Yep. Dude, that was such a weird time because like
toxic epidermal necrosis. It was like a really fucking weird thing.
yep.
It was almost the last one.
Didn't think he was coming out of that one.
Kind of would have been a sweet fucking final game though.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have gotten Unreal Tournament 2004.
This is true.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Like that is crazy though because that's a lot of memories right there.
Yeah.
Because like we just got that shit that day.
I'm just like,
Yeah. And like he was playing rounds too. Like he actually played.
like I revived myself enough to like get some games in.
Yeah.
Like, not today, motherfucker. And then
Like,
Straight up died. It was great.
But I think it does show how much of like a impressive artist that Toriyama was to like have that many great things just back to back
For
you know what I
decades,
mean?
just nonstop, and like a series that lasts. Because like, how long did Bleach last? Less than 10 years, right?
no, Bleach has come back though, technically.
Technically.
Yeah, and to be fair, there was a one shot that was made in the actual Bleach universe. It was a Bleach one shot, not Burn the Witch. It was a Bleach universe one shot that was
Burn the Witch is a part of that universe though.
I know, but I'm saying that this is specifically following Bleach, the events of Bleach, the manga. And
Burn the Witch. I was looking at some images from Burn the Witch. Skin dentation is like fucking wild in that fucking one, dude.
that should be
15 years.
yeah.
Okay.
And
From
So-
2001 to 2016.
Okay, fair enough. I was trying to discount it.
there was
Still not as far as Dragon Ball went.
there was a one shot that got released in 2021 for Bleach,
Okay, so that kind of
directly following the events of Bleach.
so that more or less continues it a little bit.
Yeah, which I would not mind if Kubo got back into specifically Bleach. I'd never tried Burn the Witch.
Well,
I'm sure it's good.
They're still working on finishing out the last arc of Bleach in anime right now.
Yes,
But speaking of that, that's kind of funny, right? Because like you've seen a lot of like Eiichiro Oda, Kubo Tite,
Yeah,
who the fuck? I don't remember Naruto's creator.
Masashi Kishimoto.
Masashi.
Kishimoto.
But all of these people have been talking about it. And it was funny because like I've seen a bunch of shit come through on Facebook and it was like quotes from all of them. And Kubo's was very interesting, right? Because he was like, oh, yes, I'm sad he's gone. But like, one, I've worked with him at Shonen Jump forever.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was very poetic because he was like, the way I see it, I don't think he's actually gone. When you create something, you're never truly gone, right?
Ooh.
That is
Ooh.
deep. Yep.
Yeah, that's
That's a fucking lot.
damn. that's a good one. That's a really good one.
So obviously, social media has been fucking buzzing with tribute with everything, because right, just Dragon Ball Z alone has touched so I think every decade in my life
Yeah.
there's been at least 2 parodies of Dragon Ball Z that I've
Yeah.
like at least. I'm wickedly undercounting this.
Yep. Because that has to, you kind of have to, because like there is so much tribute, homage, and like even parody that just is like it's always Dragon Ball, man.
And like a lot of the parodies tend to be, it's the only spot I've ever been in media where the parodies have a lot of respect to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Where they always pick the, out of their whole roster of characters, they pick the best one or they pick the best arc.
Mm-hmm.
They do something that's very tried and true to it, even though they're parodying it. Like, I've never sat there and said, that was fucking shameful. Like, why are you even...
Yep.
Yeah.
And like to the point
Pokemon got some really fucking nearly hateful ones.
Yeah, yep. That is the one, like, Pokemon has been done dirty by all forms of parody.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, though, there is one thing that's kind of hilarious when it comes to speaking on parodies. Like, you remember the Codename Kids Next Door parody, right?
Yep.
And you remember Beast Gohan?
Yeah, Beast Gohan does look like fucking big giant hair number 4 from fucking the Rectangulon Power Champ.
I'm like, damn
Fucking
it.
number 4.
It would totally check that he'd be a complete fucking Dragon Ball head.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yes,
Dude.
isn't there an episode where his hair goes up like that?
Yeah, that was a parody one.
Yeah. Because he was like, because it was like a bunch of like side stories told in like different
art
styles,
styles.
like different art styles and everything
Yeah.
like that. And his was like a whole Dragon Ball Z parody. It was amazing.
Yep, the delightful children from down the lane were Frieza.
Yeah.
It was great. It was
Because
great.
like even Family Guy has done it, right? Like Peter's been fighting the chicken and goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Family Guy has parodied it. Freaking, yeah, there's so many, dude. And it's like, it's always like in the best way, dude. And I like, when it comes to tribute, like, because that's another thing, like, speaking on tribute, and we actually, before recording, we talked about TikTok for a little bit, and TikTok be getting me sometimes. So, so the thing that's been popping off that has just been frustratingly sad for me is tribute songs.
Oh yeah.
And I be like, these songs be popping off, right? And then they have like the voices, and now AI is involved, which say what you want about
generating fucking voices.
Yeah, yep. And it's like the voices of the characters from Dragon Ball Z, and they're like singing an awesome like new metal tribute to Akira Toriyama. And I'm like sitting here at fucking work, and this shit starts playing, and I'm like,
Yeah, speaking of AI tributes, so I've seen one. It was an image. It's a bunch of Dragon Ball characters around Miyazaki of Ghibli Studios because there's not enough images of Akira Toriyama for AI to pull from.
what?
Yeah, so it's Miyazaki on the bed, surrounded by Dragon Ball characters.
Whoa, wow. Well, that's the thing.
Wow, homie, you really dropped the ball.
So Toriyama does
Beep, boop. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
He's not really in a lot of pictures. Like the pictures they've been using for tributes and stuff like that are like old pictures.
Yeah, where he's wicked young.
Yeah.
Not saying that like dying in your 60s is anywhere near old.
Yeah,
but damn.
there's like, and that's the thing is like that's
He did stay wicked low key.
Yeah, yep. And I think that's like there's something to be said about like people who do that. Like somebody who is as famous as Akira Toriyama could have easily been on everything all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's no way like this is going to be problematic to say. So if you have an American who's got that type of fame, they're on every social media. Guaranteed. There's like 2 that I can think of off the top of my head, I think, that are not really much on social media, and that's Keanu Reeves and Keanu Reeves. I can think of the other one.
Keanu Reeves, I'm mentioning again.
Yeah. You know, everybody else, like, because we're just that culture, and I get that it's become like a part of everything, right? But we've been absorbed by like social media and everything like that, you know. And Toriyama could have easily been on anything.
He could draw anything.
Yeah,
like I don't know if I had his chops.
Well,
I'd just be drawing everything, putting it on
here's
Twitter.
another thing about that, right? Even his little like, because you know how mangakas will like put little versions of themselves in their work, right?
Yeah.
His little dude has got claw arms and a gas mask.
Yep,
Like, it's
yep.
not even him.
Yeah, yep. And it's like, and speaking of which, it was, I wish I could remember his name, but he wrote My Hero Academia. I forget his name. Sorry. But he actually wears a gas mask, like actually wears one. And he does that, if I remember correctly, in tribute to Akira Toriyama, even before he passed. He just always wears a gas mask.
That is crazy.
Yep. And I'm like, that is like, that's the thing is you look at every creator, to some extent, has been like affected by Akira Toriyama's work. You know what I mean? To some extent, it's far
Kohei
reaching.
Horikoshi.
Yep. And it's far reaching. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing is like, you can't deny the fact that like, you know, people like mangakas got into writing shonen because of Akira Toriyama.
Yeah, one of them was like straight up, he's the guy who brought manga to adults.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like that, like there's so much that wouldn't exist now.
There'd be no anime really, because Sailor Moon was making its rounds around the same time, but like it was too, I don't know.
The floodgates opened because of Dragon Ball Z.
Yep. There's like music is influence. You have like everybody, even those fucking like the fucking Thanksgiving parade.
Yeah.
Every year.
Oh my god.
Every year Goku appears as a float, and every year they completely butcher his name. Every year they say Scion instead of Saiyan.
Yep. But every year those people are down there hyping, bro.
Goduko of the Cyan.
Yep. Like, ooh, I'm gonna punch you.
And it like is wild. Like that was me watching like
That was pretty bad, growing up.
No, I'm laughing because like, so where I work, we sell Rokus, right? And I'm just remembering a customer who called it a Roduko. Because Roku and Goku rhyme, right? Like, so that's where that even came from.
Oh god. Well, you know what? That's actually a good story. I like that.
I'm like, I'm sorry. Did you play Sudoku on your fucking Roku?
Sudoku on my Roku.
Goku?
I got Sudoku. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Fucking fumbled it. Sudoku on my Roku, watching Dragon Ball, seeing Goku. Eminemisms.
yeah,
With my Bloku.
Like, whoa.
Well, wait. That's actually, if you think about it in a British term.
Yep.
Yep.
No, it was 100% on.
Yeah.
That's fucking bars.
But no, like I think that like I don't know. It's just there's so much that would have been different.
Like, I remember watching that series because, right, it was on Toonami, and we had fucking super premium, very expensive cable when we were growing up. That was the only fucking good thing about our fucking tiny little apartment, that we were cramming everybody into one bedroom. Was bullshit, psychotic. But we had really good cable. Anyways, right? I remember
when you could steal cable.
Yeah, fucking wild.
The good old days, saving money.
They come out, flip it off. You just wait. You open it back up, flip it back on.
Yep. But there was a network that was showing anime, and it was showing episodes because they were running the late game Cell saga, or the Cell game saga. There we go. On Toonami, and then they were running the fucking Boo saga.
Oh yeah, I forget. What was that network?
I don't know.
The Action Channel.
But they were showing it without fucking subtitles.
Yeah,
Just straight
Japanese dubbed up with no fucking subtitles. We were watching, just fucking trying to decipher the fucking action, just like fucking looking at it, man.
Yeah,
and there was crazy shit like that they weren't showing in the Toonami version. Like
yeah.
it was like bloodier. There was a scene where like fucking Master Roshi was like groping Bulma's ass. It was like really out of place.
Yeah, I remember that shit because it was called the Action Channel. I remember that.
Yep.
Because and
we watched Dragon Ball GT.
Yeah, yep. GT was
fucking no subs.
Yeah.
We were just looking at it like, this is fucking wild.
And that's when we first heard like
no idea what's going on.
The original voice actress for Goku. That's like the first time I was like, what?
Like, what are they doing to my boy?
Like, why is the voice like that?
Why is his voice so hot?
And then and then there was like actual like conventions to their voice acting that like
standard issue stuff where like the good characters had high pitched voices.
Yeah.
And the evil character had low pitched voices. Like Vegeta had like a fucking smooth ass voice.
Yeah.
Like really smooth because like Chris Sabat was doing Vegeta's voice at that time. He was making rounds as actual Vegeta doing real fucking
real
work.
voice acting work.
Vegeta, Piccolo, half the cast.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Sabat, you got time to record some lines? You're already here.
That's true.
Give me the check and yes. Good
But
on
then
you, Sabat. You're everything.
Japanese voice Vegeta had like a fucking dude had stone cold fucking voice. He was like fucking smooth, bro. Like,
damn.
Out here like fucking Dos Equis commercial.
Yeah, he's like so smooth. Like, what the fuck you talking like that for?
That's good.
Because he's laying some pipe on Bulma.
Yeah. I guess I'd be like, talking like that too at that point.
Like top G.
Yeah, top G.
A good old Loku.
Woo!
Yeah. No, but like, and it was like Dragon Ball Z was like popular in the Wild West of anime, like because like anybody like they would just get their hands on a license and be like, sure, let's see what happens.
Yeah,
you know, because I remember like, and wow, the Action Channel's bringing back a lot of memories.
It was also kind of Dragon Ball had voice actors who were starting to cut their teeth and like get things right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cause I'm remembering shit on the Action Channel and like having people who were doing cartoon voices.
Yep. Because I remember
the anime.
Because I remember Blue Seed was on the Action Channel, and motherfuckers were talking like this. Yeah.
Crazy to me.
And then I remember because there's a Japanese name I don't remember how to pronounce it, but we called it Blue Seed. There was Hellsing, the original Hellsing OVA premiered on the Action Channel.
Yeah.
Which was fucking wild.
Fucking Hellsing is a wild ride.
Yeah.
That's a crazy one because it's got like Nazis in it. And
Werewolf Nazis.
yeah, they were. What a crazy show.
And vampire Nazis. And a robot Nazi.
Lots of Nazis.
They were into it.
But
and a crusade against Nazis.
Amazing. But if
that mangaka is a former doujin artist.
Yeah. I knew that from research.
I'm
Well,
just doing some research.
they talk about it in the Hellsing manga.
Yes, they do. Because I remember, like, that's the one thing about that mangaka is that he's very, like, spoofy. Like, he makes a lot of jokes about
Well, like, there's a point where Integra, like, feeds Sarah something and just, like, the fluid pole. You're like, you know that guy's spent some time on that.
He spent some time. This is not the first time he's ever drawn this.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
And he knows exactly who he's doing it for. He's like, here, you thirsty bastard.
He's like, hey, you remember, I know the OGs.
I know how to do this. So if you make fan art of these characters, it better be good.
Yeah.
So I think
Could you imagine making fucking fan art hentai and the actual artist roasts you?
Yeah, like your competition is the actual fucking artist.
that's not what that would look like. Like, who said that? You turn around.
It's you.
Out of the shadows like Batman.
Like, allow me to show you.
And we were talking about this because like Helsing's got me thinking about parodies.
DBZ abridged.
Yes.
Hellsing abridged. Yeah.
Yep.
So the abridged for Dragon Ball Z, that's that put that production company Team 4-Star like right on the map. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
voice
still-
actors have gotten their start from
Yeah.
abridged.
And they still do Team 4-Star still does work. A lot of the OG Dragon Ball voice actors were drawing lines in the sand as far as like, because right at conventions where people are like, oh, say this line from Abridged, and like Sean Schemmel's like, nah, I'm not gonna fucking do that.
yeah.
Because like he got he's making his money. He is Goku.
Yeah.
In a series that is, it has a pedigree, and he's already part of it almost gets me thinking of the times he's actually gotten in trouble being recorded saying crazy shit in Goku's voice,
which is probably why he's very careful. But like, you do gotta have a little bit of respect, because like that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm like, if I was a voice actor, right, and I was the guy, you know what I mean? Because like there was a couple other guys in the history of American voice acting Goku that voiced Goku, and they talk like this. yeah.
Oh, they paved the way. They walked so Schemmel could run.
Yep. And the thing is, he's Goku. He's American Goku. You know what I mean? So, and he's not an asshole about it. He's just like, this is the company I work for. This is the art that was created that I'm doing work for. He's like, I'm not here to like do the parodies. And he's like, these guys have made money off of other people's work, which is like, now here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here because I love me some Abridged. I'm not going to be honest. I watched a lot of it. There was a point where like that was the only shit I watched. So I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to necessarily agree or disagree with that statement. But what I'm going to say is I respect the fact that he said that, because at the end of the day, there are people who will take something that is like a legitimate art that somebody's created and like use it for their own gain, which is not the coolest thing you could do. Good for
looking at you, pal world.
You know what I mean? Not
got him.
So I will say kudos to him, and I'm glad that there's somebody who has a differing standpoint, because Chris Sabat, he likes Abridged. He said it. He's like, I'm into it. He's like, those guys are fucking awesome. I was like, okay, fair enough. But
he also said some crazy shit.
When you're half the cast.
Yeah, he's like, man, I'm tired. So
he has said some crazy shit in character.
This is PrickleHIT's.
Yep. PrickleHIT Cha.
Yeah.
Yamcha is also Chris Sabat.
Crazy.
He's half the cast.
But it kind of does. Team 4-Star. They've already put out a tribute for Toriyama. For Toriyama, I can speak English. I swear I can.
Toriyama's Japanese, so
yeah, that's crazy, right? I'm an idiot.
I can partially.
I already told you I was a fucking genius. So yeah, the fuck up. But half the time, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Where the fuck did that voice come from?
I don't know. I'm trying to maintain some levity because like I'm starting to like get all fucking nostalgic and weepy.
Yeah, I've been going down memory lane.
I got mad sad boy on this shit. Like it is the Friday that we fucking learned this.
Oh my gosh!
Last Friday, I'm a fucking idiot, of course. It fucked me up,
dude. It did. It really turned into the worst Friday ever. like it was.
You crashed the company car.
Yeah, I crashed the car.
It was rough.
I crashed the company vehicle. I was scared of that. Like we were talking about it, reminiscing about it. I almost cried in the customer's house.
Yeah, like we were walking through, like covering our shit, fucking red eyed and shit. I was like, it was a little fucking disgraceful. Fucking crazy.
Like fuck, dude, man. It really did. It was fucking the whole Friday sucked. The energy was down. It was terrible.
And like there was, there's just a lot to that series and a lot to that artist. Just a complete. I mean, my life was forever changed by absorbing those works.
Yep.
And there is really no denying that. Obviously, the world lost something greater than a legend, we can say. I mean, that's what I'm going to fucking say.
And I think there is something to be said about, like, because legends and, you know, what they leave behind is great, but like the people that they inspired and like you've inspired artists, you've inspired story writers, you've inspired people just to like embrace their weird and like, you know,
there's a guy I follow on social media. He's called Be More Shonen, and he's a cosplayer and a bodybuilder.
Yeah,
and he does a bunch of fucking Dragon Ball cosplays, and he's like, it helped. He was saying that it helped him get sober. It helped him get in shape. It helped him stop procrastinating. It helped him find his wife.
Well, shit, look at the English voice actor for Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah. That's like, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of Jax Blade, but he's also like, he's a fitness influencer on YouTube, and he created a series called Tough Like the Tunes, and it was literally based off of Goku. He's like, I got into fitness because I was chasing the Goku physique, man. He's like, I used to be like a fat nerd, but he's like, I wanted to be like Goku. He's like, I saw him get strong, and it's like, and you've like in so many different ways, like inspired so many different people.
Yeah.
And like, that is something profound. Like, the world needs happiness, it needs inspiration, it needs hope. And, you know, and that is what Akira Toriyama embodied in so many ways. So like, I mean, like, rest in peace. Like, really? Like,
absolute legend. There are other amazing fucking people out there who are like on that level, maybe, but no one's ever going to replace that. Just the absolute greatest. And with that, we have reached the end. We are Critical Hit, and it wasn't even close to what I feel is like appropriate, but that was the fucking tributes to Akira Toriyama. Yeah, I mean, eyes are hot.
Yep.
Totally not crying, but eyes are hot as fuck. Find us wherever you find your favorite podcast. Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Deezer, all those other things. Find us on YouTube at CritTube. Find us on Twitter at CritHitOfficial. New episodes every Friday. Until then, work hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty. That's the Turtle Hermit way.